All right, we are live. Guys, this is Dr. Casey Pride. I'm here with another interview with you guys. And the purpose, of course, with all of these conversations is for you guys to have good quality information to make better decisions, whether it be for your health, your life, for yourself, and for your family. And I'm really excited to have a conversation today with my good friend, Dr. Neil Cohen. He's the Senior Vice President for Presidential Affairs at Sherman College of Chiropractic. Love this guy. He's just so incredibly passionate about chiropractic and about his college, Sherman. And Dr. Neil, thank you for coming on and talking to me, man.
Thank you for the invite. I am so honored to be here. And you know how much I love you, Dr. Casey Pride. You're awesome, my friend.
Thank you, man. Well, I know a lot of people who are watching already know you, but what I'd love for the people who don't know you to know is just how you got into chiropractic and that path all the way up to being where you are, a senior VP of one of the best chiropractic colleges in the country.
You know, it's funny. I up till recently, I haven't talked about it much, but the one responsible for my chiropractic journey is actually my wife, Randi. Randi and I met in 1979. She became my girlfriend, and she was going to see a chiropractor. So she actually birthed chiropractic into my life. I went to the chiropractor with her one day, and I got checked. I got adjusted. And with one adjustment, my life changed. It completely changed. And I knew that was the path that I wanted to take. In fact, my question to the chiropractor is, where have they been keeping this stuff? This is amazing. And so I asked him, I said, where can I go to school for this? And he gave me a list of colleges to choose from. I wrote away to every single colleges. Every single one of those colleges. And then I made the crucial error of choosing a school based on geographical location. And we'll talk about that later. But in my case, it was a good school at the time. Anyway, to make a long story even longer, I became a chiropractor. I fell in love with the principle of chiropractic. I became passionate about it as a result of Dr. Sid Williams, Life College, his teachings, DE, all of those things just put me in a position to, it changed the way I thought. It was a new way of thinking, a new way to navigate through the world. It was empowerment to me to understand that the body was self-healing and that the nerve system was responsible for all the things that took place within the body. And I bought it hook, line, and sinker. I loved it. And we had our first baby when we were at Life College. He was born at home. He was nursed. He was, breastfed, no vaccination, the whole 9 yards. So we began that journey all because my wife, Randi, my girlfriend at the time, took me to a chiropractor. And, it's amazing. And now the fruit of that one visit to the chiropractor, I can tell you, Dr. Casey, I have a daughter, Sarah Cohen. She's amazing. She practices in Greenville, South Carolina, Sherman graduate. I have a son, Michael Cohen, who graduated Sherman a year later. He's in Edmonton, Alberta, practicing with Jason Sabo. He just had, him and his wife, Jenna Lynn, we just had our first grandbaby, who I was on the FaceTime with a little while ago. So Grayson James was born a little bit less than a month ago. So this is chiropractic. And Grayson was born at home. Grayson was born with a midwife. So this is the fruit. This is the legacy that we have an opportunity to create when we understand the principle of chiropractic. And that's the journey. So I was in practice for 28 years. I was an associate for 7 years, almost. I worked for a guy named Dr. Mike Bartell, DE chiropractor, principal chiropractor. He helped deliver my daughter, Sarah, at home. He is her godfather. His wife, Karen, is her godmother. And so he was a huge influence on me as a young chiropractor. And then I opened up my own practice, was in practice for many, many years. And I got a phone call one day from Dr. Edwin Cordero. He said, I need you at Sherman College. And I knew he had taken over about a year ago. And he said, we really need to bring this, we need to bring this college to its rightful place. It's a diamond in the rough. And I'd love you to join me in doing that. And without even thinking, I said, yes. And so I sold my practice. I left my family, went up to Spartanburg, South Carolina, lived in a 2-bedroom apartment for a year. People don't know this because I made a sacrifice. And the sacrifice that I made was for chiropractic. And when you understand something is bigger than yourself, that's when you know that you can make a sacrifice. So I did that. It was taking a chance, but I had faith, and I'm a man of faith. I had strong faith that God had chosen me just specifically for this opportunity. And so we fast forward this thing a few years later, and Sherman went from 160 students when Dr. Cordero started, and now we are pressing over 400. So we're real happy about that. We've got a brand new facility, brand new campus, and it's been unfortunate that through this last several months of this crisis, this world crisis that's going on, we haven't been able to utilize our facilities the way we would like to. But I will tell you this, we will get things back on track. And I'm excited about what the future holds, not only for Sherman College, but for chiropractic.
Yeah, man. Well, one thing I love about you and Dr. Cordero is you guys are talk walkers, man. I mean, you guys don't just talk. I mean, I see you at every chiropractic event I go to, and it's for you. I know for you, it's so much bigger than you, and it's so much bigger than Sherman. It's about impacting humanity, and that just shines through in the way that you guys show up for this profession. And I think a great college really starts with great leadership. So I want to thank you guys for doing that and setting the bar, not just for your students, but for other colleges to be following. And so I know Sherman's different just based on that, but can you tell me, in your word, what makes Sherman different from other colleges out there?
Well, Sherman is, yes, I can. And it's fairly simple, and one of the things that it's a little sarcastic, but what concerns me is the fact that we want to have a chiropractic college teaching chiropractic. That's very important. And I don't know if that's happening in places other than Sherman. I really don't, because I talk to students from different colleges, and of course I'm not going to name names, but it really is a lack of philosophy. There's a lack of technique training. The science is really, really good at all the colleges. They're really able to pass the national boards. But as a practicing chiropractor, where the rubber meets the road, it's communication skills, it's business skills, it's being able to adjust, it's knowing your why, knowing the foundation that you stand on. Because if we remove a foundation, then the whole building moves. And our foundation is very, very much intertwined with our philosophy. Our philosophy is so important. We must understand that chiropractic is based on just a few basic principles. 1, the body is self-healing. 2, the nervous system runs the body. 3, we get interference to that system, which affects our entire life. And 4, we're the only ones that actually remove subluxations and that type of interference. So that's really what makes Sherman different, is we're very strong in our philosophy. We're also strong in our business. We're strong in technology. We have an iPad program at the college where basically there's very few books, if any, to buy at the college. So most of our classes have apps that they learn from. And so we don't nickel and dime the students with books. We have the new facility, as I say. Sherman is really unique in the sense that we are a big family. We, sometimes there's dysfunction in a family. I'm going to be very honest with you. Families aren't perfect. And what we have to realize is that if we can work through our issues, we're always going to remain a family, because it's what's bigger than us is the promotion, is the preservation, is the protection, and the perpetuation of chiropractic. And as long as Dr. Cordero is there, as long as I am there, and hopefully the future leaders of Sherman College are there, we are going to make sure that chiropractic lives on. The location and correction of vertebral subluxation, that's chiropractic. And so that's what makes us different. And we're not ashamed of it. We're not ashamed of our history. We're not ashamed of what chiropractic can do to change a life. We want people to be able to shout that from the mountaintops. That's why our mission and our vision is bringing Sherman College to the world and adjusting the world for a better future.
I love it, man. So that's a lot of stuff. But what's the most important thing? What's the most important thing that when a student walks through your door as a new student and they walk out with that diploma, that degree, that cap and gown, what do you want them to have when they leave Sherman? What's the most important thing to you?
I think there are levels of things. Everybody has different gifts. And I think if we were going to say what is the most important thing, I want them to have confidence in the fact that the body can heal itself, and that they are the facilitators. They are the ones that, through this gentle, specific, scientific chiropractic adjustment, remove the interference and allow the body to heal. Oftentimes we give the credit to the adjustment. I've seen the term for many, many years in chiropractic, the power of the adjustment. I'm not a big fan of that. There is no power in the adjustment. The power is in the person walking into your office. And so it's really not about the adjustment. It's about the person's inborn ability to express life and to heal. And what we do is we facilitate that by being able to locate, analyze, and correct vertebral subluxations with confidence. So that would be the thing that I would want them to leave with. Obviously, and you know this, being a graduate, being a young chiropractor, that's a journey. You don't have that same confidence the day you get out as you do a year later or 5 years later or 10 years later. Experienced hands are different than non-experienced hands. But having the confidence to know that you can find a subluxation, adjust it, and then let the body express itself is so, so important.
Well, I mean, that's such a simple principle too. The idea that the body's intelligent, and the work that we do is to simply clear the way for that intelligence to express. Why do you think that's a principle that's so lost in this profession in so many places?
Well, it's really lost within the world. You see, what happens is we all come in with false propositions in our head, and one of them is that we've been robbed of the belief that the body can actually heal itself. And remember, even when you're a chiropractor, you probably came from an allopathic background. And, so you have to be able to replace patterns of thinking in your head. And if you can understand that the body can heal itself and it has the power to heal itself and really believe that, you're ahead of the game. But if you're not really sure, and if you're fighting with disease as an entity. Disease isn't an entity, it's a process. Life is a process. Time is a process. You can't fight processes. And one of the things we've kind of gotten lost in chiropractic is we've gone after symptoms, which is a big mistake. Chiropractic never is supposed to go after symptoms. What we do is we adjust interfered nervous system. We adjust the interfered nerves and allow the body to express itself. What that looks like is really none of our business. That's what we're supposed to do. So rather than promising the potential, and we tend to promise the potential in chiropractic because 90% of people that walk into a chiropractic office, they're going to get a result. That seems to me what is out there. But at the end of the day, what we want to promise is the promise, not the potential. And the promise is that if you come into my office, I can locate that subluxation, I could remove it, and you could be clear. You're going to have to tell me what your potential is after that. So rather than me promising, I'm going to get rid of those headaches, I'm going to get rid of that back pain, I'm going to get rid of all that stuff you came in with, I don't think that is a very instructive. I don't think that promotes what chiropractic is. And Reggie Gold did it best. People would say, is my symptom going to go away? And he'd say, how the hell do I know? How the hell do we know if a symptom is going to go away? But I do know this. This I know. If I remove or correct a subluxation, you're better. That's what I know. You're better. Whether you know you're better or not, that's a whole nother thing. But you're better off living unsubluxated than you are subluxated. Would you agree, Dr. Casey?
Of course. Of course.
That's chiropractic. That's it. And so we've got to empower people to know that the body heals itself, and they've been robbed of that. And chiropractors have been robbed of that as well.
Yeah. And one thing that I think has been a challenge for a lot of students who come out of chiropractic school is, since they're not getting the philosophy in school, even the ones who are seeking it, they go to seminars, they read books, but then they come out and they enter the real world, they enter practice, and they walk into an office where the expectation of them is fix my pain, fix my symptom. And they haven't really been grounded in the principle in the school setting, and they haven't really been trained to communicate in the school setting. I mean, I'm grateful that I had a lot of mentors who walked me through a lot of the communication side of things. So I feel like I came out of school somewhat prepared. A lot of my classmates didn't. And what do you guys do on the communication side of chiropractic, aside from just obviously it's very clear you have a strong philosophy at your school. What are you guys doing on the communication side of it so that people can effectively kind of shift the headspace of their patients on that?
Well, one of the great things that we have at Sherman that separates us from other programs as well is our business principles that we teach. We have a G10 program, which it stands for graduation plus 10 years. And it's an opportunity, if students follow the program, to be free from their college debt 10 years after they graduate, which I think is a great outcome to want to give to all of our students. I mean, let's face it, if our students become debt-free, that means they're successful. If our students are successful, they're going to be proud of their alma mater. If they're proud of their alma mater, they're going to send other future chiropractors to their alma mater. They're going to support their alma mater. They're going to give their dollars to their alma mater. They're going to come visit their alma mater. And that's what we hope for at Sherman College. So we want chiropractors to be abundant. We want them to be debt-free because, there's nothing worse than two things: a broke chiropractor or a broken chiropractor. Those two things are really bad. So what we have done at Sherman is we have 14 quarters of proven business principles. We've partnered with Dr. Dean DePice, TLC, and they've written a whole curriculum. There's a class that's given to each quarter that is quarter appropriate for that particular class. So this allows them to graduate and start out of the gate running. If they choose to open up their own practice, if they choose to associate. I mean, I get calls, I get messages all the time about how can you turn me on to some Sherman grads, because they know that those graduates are prepared. So what we're doing is we're preparing our students for the marketplace. And there's nothing like being in the marketplace. It's just like preparing for war. I mean, you could do all the training in the world, but once you're out there on the front lines, it's different. So we are preparing them for those front lines, and hopefully they see the importance of that and the robustness of that, and they take that seriously, because we put a lot of effort into this program, and that's one of the things we've done to separate ourselves from the other chiropractic colleges.
Gotcha. Now, I want to shift gears just a little bit, because I know the most talked about topic right now is COVID-19, and being in education, I know this is hitting you guys in a very unique way as well. And what has been Sherman's response, not just to obviously the virus, but also to all of these policies that have come down the pipeline that are sort of changing the way that you're able to educate?
Well, I have to tell you, it's not been easy. Thank goodness we have this incredible Sherman family. Not only do we have amazing students, but we also have an incredible staff, incredible faculty, and an administration that is just wonderful. So we've been able to assess almost on a daily basis at the beginning, meeting almost every day to determine how we would pivot and navigate through this. And a lot of time, a lot of effort has gone into the decision making. One of the things that I have to tell you, and most people don't know this within the world of entrepreneurs, is that the main focus of our college is not only maintaining safety, but also maintaining the existence of the college. We have to make sure that the college is safe and secure. So we have to follow the mandates of the particular state that we're in, which is South Carolina. We are compelled to follow those mandates. If we don't follow those mandates and then they want to shut the college down, we're no good to anybody. So Sherman is really, really good at following those mandates, even though in a philosophical way, we may have done something different in our own life, in our own practice. Sherman follows those mandates. So safety is a precaution, and also the security of the college is a main focus. Our goal is to open up the campus as soon as we possibly can. We've done it in 4 phases. We're about to enter into phase 4, which we hope, if things don't change, and Dr. Casey, things are changing on a daily basis. You're out in California. You understand that. So what we hope to do is we hope to open up the campus on September 29th for our fall quarter. But I'm going to be honest, there's no guarantee that's going to happen. We think it will based on what we know today, but that's something that we have to go day by day to that. So initially, it was a real arduous task for our faculty. They had to go from teaching at the college to a distance learning virtual classroom. And I have to tell you, they did an amazing job. Thank God we had the iPads. Thank God we had the technology, because they were able to do that in a matter of days and weeks, which obviously isn't the ideal situation for a chiropractic college. But let's face it, we have to do what we have to do. And we know this is a temporary situation. So we ask everyone to have grace, keep the faith, know that we're going to get back to normal, and we're doing the best that we can. We're making the best possible decisions that we can every single day through these waters that no one's ever navigated through. And I just want to encourage everybody, we're going to get through it. And there's been a sacrifice for everyone. We have to make a sacrifice. When you're in leadership, you have to be intentional, purposeful, and skillful in making your decisions. This blaming, complaining, and defending does not work. So I'm not going to blame anybody. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to be defensive about this. We've made some intentional, purposeful, and skillful decisions. I'm confident that everything we did was in the best interest for everyone, and everything we do is in the best interest for our organization and everyone in it. And so that's what true leaders do, and that's the transparency you're going to see from Edwin Cordero and Neil Cohen.
Yeah, I know I speak for a lot of people when I say we appreciate transparency on that, because gosh, there's just so much going behind the scenes that we never get to find out about, and you guys have just been 100% upfront about what your school is doing and why. I wanted to know your thoughts, because in chiropractic we've always stood for health freedom. And one thing about this profession is we absolutely believe in what we do. But you and I, we would never dream of forcing what we do on other people and using the government as sort of a strong arm to compel people to use chiropractic. What are your thoughts on everything that's going on? And it almost seems like not almost, it does seem like our health freedoms are just slowly being encroached upon.
Well, I think it's been insidious for a long time. This has been the most obvious sort of demonstration of it. But in truth, there's been many battles that I fought 35 years ago, getting my firstborn into school, having to do with vaccines and, all the different things. You see, I believe that we have, as adults, we can choose the way we want to raise our children. As long as we're not harming them, we should be able to choose the way we raise our children. And unfortunately, there are people that think the decisions that chiropractors make us unsafe, and we're really not unsafe. We're part of the population that thinks, and a lot of people don't think. Most people only think they think, and that's part of the problem. So chiropractors really understand the difference between what the body can do and what education can do to the body. And we look at our society and we see how unhealthy our society is. And chiropractors are just, we're far above the curve when it comes to health. You go to a chiropractic seminar, I'm going to be 63 years old. I'm not on any medication. I'm vibrant. I'm alive. And look, God could take me out tomorrow. That may happen. I don't know. But I will tell you this, that if he does, I've lived 63 years of full life expression. That I know. And so what I believe is chiropractic is about freedom. I think that what we do is we free people, and we need to continue to fight for what we do. The problem is that we can't always be reactive. You see, our profession tends to be reactive, not proactive. And in leadership, you have to be proactive. You have to have a vision. We should have seen this coming, and we should see what is coming, because this may be the beginning of something else. And I want people to be fully aware that we are doing research at Sherman College, along with Christopher Kent, who is director of our Center for Scholarly Activity, Dr. Matt McCoy, along with the Foundation for Vertebral Subluxation, Dr. Christy Kwan, and others. We're doing research on the immune system and chiropractic so we can present these things to the world. We have to present these things to the world. We can't just go on charisma. Charisma is not going to get us where we need to be. We have to go with objective, specific information that we can share with the world and allow them to make a decision based on the truth, not based on hyperbole and based on fear. And a lot of people are making decisions based on fear. Chiropractic is not about fear. It has nothing to do with fear. We don't sell fear. We sell faith. We teach people a belief system, and we teach them to believe that the power that recreates them is so special. And we want them to revere that. We want them to understand that. We want them to know that that is part of what gives them the freedom to be who they are.
That's beautiful. And I'm totally with you on that. So when I speak with patients and clients and friends about this, when you're fearful, you think about this far in front of your face. Because it's how we're wired. If you're in danger, if something happens, and you're exposed to something that's a threat to you, and you're in fear, your only concern is, how do I protect myself from whatever that is? You're not thinking long term, and that's the worst thing I think that can happen from this is people are not thinking in the long term. They're not thinking of the unintended consequences of allowing themselves to be steamrolled by a lot of this stuff, a lot of this policy that's coming out. So I appreciate you touching on that. Man, how can people be supporting Sherman? I mean, what do you guys need from people right now?
Well, the first thing that I want folks to do is as the world gets back to some sort of normalcy and we start traveling again with the freedom that we know that we once had, I want people to come visit our campus. That's the first thing. Dr. Casey, I want you to come visit our campus. I want you to see this magnificent 80 acres that we have. I want you to see what we've done. I want you to see this diamond in the rough that we've only just begun to polish. So that's the first thing. We have Lyceum every May. We have our IRAPS presentation there in October. We have our Academy of Chiropractic Philosophers around the world and at Sherman College. We have all kinds of events. That's the first thing. The second thing I want folks to do to support Sherman College is to send prospective students to the college. One of the worst things that we can do is have a patient come into our office, say, hey, I'm thinking about chiropractic as a career, doc. What do you think? And we get so teary-eyed that we don't think about that being the most important decision that they have to make is where they go to school. We want people to go to a school that's going to give them a return on their investment. And unfortunately, most prospective students will pick a school based on geographical location. Now, you wouldn't pick a chiropractor based on geographical location. Why would you pick a chiropractic college based on geographical location? If you could go to your local school or you could go to Harvard for the same money, what would you choose? Harvard, of course. So we want them to come to Sherman College. And listen, if they come and they say it's not for me, that's okay. They can choose whatever college they want, but they need to put Sherman in the mix. We need to show them what the philosophy, art, and science is about, what our facilities are about, our heart, our family. And I believe that once they come on campus, there's a great opportunity for them to choose Sherman. So make sure that if you have a prospective student, those chiropractors that are listening out there, or maybe somebody who's out there thinking about a career in chiropractic, check out Sherman College, sherman.edu. Third, if you have dollars that you want to donate, if you want to support principled chiropractic, if you want to ensure the perpetuation of chiropractic, if you want to ensure that the next generation receives the correct messaging, and so that they have the opportunity to receive the offer of chiropractic, then donate your dollars to Sherman College. There's many ways that you can do that. You can donate any amount. You can do more. You can do a specific amount if you like. You can buy a wall. You can buy a brick. You can buy a tile. You can be anonymous. It doesn't matter. But the thing is, we have to stand for something. And right now, this entire profession is under assault. Whether you know it or not, we're under assault. And we have to make sure that Sherman remains strong and remains focused on teaching the chiropractic principle. And you can help do that by supporting Sherman College.
Yeah, you got it, man. I mean, that's an easy yes for me. And, again, as the leadership goes, so goes the school. And I see you everywhere, man. I see you standing up for this profession. I see you at Cal Jam. I see you at the Truth every year. Everywhere I go, it seems like you or Dr. Cordero are there. And it's an easy yes to send people your way, man. We love you guys. And yeah, I accept your invitation to come check out Sherman, man. I still have not been, and it's been on my list to do. And as soon as we can travel again, I'll be out there to see you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And thank you for your support. And, I'll be honest, like you say, you see me everywhere. I don't see you enough places because I love seeing you. You're an amazing warrior for chiropractic. You're a special young chiropractor. And those of you that follow Casey Pride know he's the real deal. So thank you, Dr. Casey Pride, for your support of Sherman. And thank you for having me today on this program.
Oh, you bet, man. And you know what? I wanted to tell you about something you said to me, actually. It was when I say I see you everywhere, my first chance to be on a stage and actually speak at a chiropractic seminar, you were there. It was at the Truth in Kansas City in 2017, I think. And I remember, I knew your heart that day because you came straight up to me at the after party. And you looked me in the eye and you said, you're a leader. And I hope you know that. And I hope you accept that. And it was like, wow, it meant the world coming from you, man. So I appreciate what you do, and you've really touched my heart in a big way. And it's that encouragement that I needed to really step up and keep going with this. So, what I like to do anytime I'm talking to people on here is give you the last word, man. What does the world need to hear about chiropractic, about Sherman, whatever's on your heart?
I want folks to know that they've been given a sacred trust. And that sacred trust, they've been charged with something, and they've been charged with guarding it well. Our foundation is those 33 principles. We need to understand them, but we also need to agree with them. And once we understand and agree to them, then we can promote our sacred trust. We can support and do the things that we were chosen to do. We all have gifts. And those of us that are chiropractors, that's our gift. And you have to know that that's your gift. And now it's time for you to hone the gift. Hone the gift. Take the next 5, 10, 20 years to hone the gift and deliver that message. Because, what you said to me just now was super encouraging. Because, BJ said this, you never know how far reaching something you say, think, or do will affect millions tomorrow. And as a leader, we don't know who we touch. And I honestly, no dig on you, but I only remembered that after you just said it. I forgot it. It was on, like you said, it was from me. And those things happen all the time. People are listening and they're watching you these days. You're in the spotlight. And so my suggestion is always be the best that you can be, no matter where you are. So thank you so much. And the last word is guard it well, brothers and sisters.
Thank you, Dr. Cohen. And guys, if you're watching this and you find this valuable, I encourage you, give it a like, give it a heart, whatever your reaction is, leave a comment. Let us know what you think, and let us know who you'd like us to talk to. And as you know, censorship on holistic health topics is alive and well. And so if you find this valuable, I encourage you to share it around, share it to people who need to hear this message, share it to potential chiropractors who can connect with Dr. Neil Cohen and Sherman College. Dr. Cohen, thank you again for doing this, man. Would love to do it again.
Love you, and love everybody out there. God bless.
Love you too, brother. Have a good day.